We like the fact that it's available in seed. We think the seed versus sprigs and stolonized varieties, there's a plus to the seed for shipping, ease of planting, hydroseeding into golf courses. You don't have to do it the old ways with stolons, and we just think that seed, there's a good aspect to seed.
Having done a lot of work internationally, we obviously had a lot of people that thought they could import different types of paspalum to Turkey, but I was pretty much convinced that that wasn't the case, and it proved not to be the case, as some others had tried and had lost a huge amount of material and so importing it from the United States. So our decision was to go to your seed. You've provided us with a material that we can ship internationally. You provide us with a material that seems to grow against all odds, if you ask me.
The seeded variety, of course, you can overseed it yourself by just buying the seed, buying it in the buckets and applying it yourself and slit seeding it, or going out and hydroseeding it. The stolons, you'd have to harvest them yourself and apply those. We do sell stolons as well. They are a living, viable plant, and the seed just seems to be a little easier to apply to areas that already have some coverage on it. If you just wanted to do a little touch-up, it just seems a little bit easier to do a little bit of touch-up with just a little bit of seed.
Sea Spray seeded paspalum offers advantages over traditional sprigging. One potential problem when it comes to sprigging is, how much is enough? It's difficult to know how much plant material is in a bushel of sprigs. Has the bushel been compacted? Is it filled loosely or somewhere in between? With Sea Spray seeded seashore paspalum, you get consistency of volume. There are approximately 800,000 seeds per pound with uncoated seeds. So there's no guesswork when determining the amount you need to cover a given area.
Around the greens and bunker slopes where you typically would sod a golf course, we went at 2 pounds per thousand and use a Futura matting to hold the seed in place a little bit more to try and prevent any erosion around those areas. And everywhere else on the golf course we went at a 1 pound rate.
Seeding a known quantity ensures consistent applications, even when numerous workers with varying experience are spreading the seed. Seeding also provides a smoother and more even application than sprigging, without disparate patches of growth caused by concentrations of stolons and rhizomes or excess biomatter in some areas. Not only do you get a quality playing surface, but also seed eliminates issues with storage and shipping.
I'm really glad we decided to switch to the seed, even though we were delayed for so long and the seed had to be stored for an unusual amount of time. And I was really surprised that even after the storage and all the harassment that your poor seed went through, when we planted it, and it actually grew. And you know, I say that as a surprise, but it was a surprise because nothing had grown on the site. The seed had been relatively stored, I think, way too long. 18 months in a refrigerator is a long time to ask a seed to germinate the minute it hits the ground. So I think, you know, we stressed your seed. We did everything incorrectly that we possibly could be allowed to do, and it still survived.
The storage of sprigs, well, you know, you'd have to, if you're going to make sprigs, you'll have to either put it in a refrigerated containment, which still on that, you wouldn't want to go over more than 2-3 days. Whereas the seed, you know, you could probably keep it in air conditioning for, who knows, a couple months.
Plus the fact that we have, it's much more easier for us to import seed than bringing sprigs into the country because all the agriculture requirement for the sprigs. So that's a plus.
So the clear point there would be to ship a bucket full of seed rather than a bucket full of sprigs. You know, the sprigs aren't going to last if you run into problems crossing the border or whatnot. The seed we can get right across, we can plant it.